Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be comparing the tanks from 8.1 to previous updates and comparing their armor profiles to see how much they have changed. So sit down and enjoy the video. Let's go! First up, we have the Foch. This is the old Foch. Pay attention to the cupola. The whole cupola was gray before, but now only the middle part of the cupola is gray. Now, this is a nerf, in my opinion. The Foch got a bit nerfed, as in now it's really easy to do damage to it. Before, if you shot the sides of the cupola, obviously the armor wouldn't be penned and the Foch would save a little bit of HP. But now everyone's going to shoot right in the middle of the Foch because they know where to shoot exactly, and therefore it'll ricochet less shots. So this is a clear nerf for the Foch, but let's see how things are going to play out in the future. Next we have the E3. Now, oh boy, the E3 is super duper red, but still, I don't know if this is a nerf or a buff, but still, this is the old E3 in this picture. As you can see here, the whole lower plate is more or less gray, and of course it depends on the angle, but before it used to be gray, and when you shot it, you wouldn't penetrate it, and you'd be like, what the hell, I shot a gray spot, why didn't my damage go through? And randoms would say, go screw yourself. Obviously, RNG would be like, go screw yourself. But now you know exactly if you can penetrate the Foch or not. For example, now if I load gold and I shoot a gray spot, I 100% know I will penetrate that area. If I shoot a red bit or a pinkish area, I will know I will not pen. The only, downside for this update is the fact that the cupola has still not been fixed. It's still gray, but that's okay. The biggest thing in this update is the AMX 50B. This is the old 50B, now this is the new 50B. Look at it, it's a bit red, but wait for it. Wait for it to lift the turret, just wait for it. This is gonna be crazy, and I bet a lot of people will be shocked. Just wait, I'm just testing the sides. Now look when the turret is turned up. Oh my god, it's red. It's red. It's unbelievable. You cannot penetrate the 50B unless you have a really high penetration when the turret is lifted. Look at this. After you shoot a clip, imagine just lifting your turret up and then bouncing a few shots when you're, peeking up from a hill. This is crazy. This is crazy, and I think this is definitely a buff. Maybe the turret was always like this, but no one really noticed. But that's that. Now we have the IS-4, and remember the old IS-4, when you would come close to it, it would be a bit, it would be gray. You would think you could penetrate it, and then you shoot, bam, the shot doesn't go through. Now you don't have any of this anymore. As you can see here, I'm coming up very close. However, the IS-4 doesn't turn gray as it used to do. Of course, even if I load gold, as you can see here, it's not as easy to spot the weak points on the IS-4. Now, again, this is clearly a nerf, because back in the day, people would shoot a gray spot and it wouldn't penetrate. And again, as you can see here, close up, the IS-4 was very gray before, but then your shot would randomly ricochet. Now, again, this is definitely a nerf for the IS-4 because, again, you're going to be losing a lot more HP. People are going to be shooting the lower plate a lot more often. They're going to take their time to actually, try and penetrate their shot. Of course, there are some tanks such as the IS-7 and the FV215B where I didn't see a major difference in the armor profile. Of course, the armor looks a lot more sharp now. The IS-7 is super red in some areas and a little bit less gray or more gray in other areas, but overall it's very similar to as it used to be, especially the pike nose. As you can see here, it's just like before. That you can penetrate this bit and that bit, etc, and the IS-7 wasn't touched upon really that much. I'm really interested to see how players will feel themselves in randoms now. Will they feel this as a nerf? Will they see this as a buff? Again, same with the FV215B. Here, I didn't feel like there was a huge difference. I looked at pictures from before, screenshots I made, and again, there wasn't a huge difference. So I'm going to have to say, there wasn't a nerf or a buff in this regard, at least in terms of how the tank feels. Now, a big difference a lot of players felt was shooting at the E5, for example. A lot of people shot red spots, which were clearly meant to be, ricochet areas, but they still seem to penetrate it with gold, especially on the front and the sides of the cheeks. So some tanks technically, they didn't technically, neither tank got a buff or a nerf. It's how players feel, but now some tanks feel like they got a buff, some tanks feel like they got a nerf. So it really depends on what tank you're choosing, but overall, at least in my opinion, a lot of the tanks, at least the heavier armor tanks, got a little bit of a nerf. But with that, this video comes to an end. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy is out. Bye-bye.